versus real people. There's a difference in how it's handled with them versus everybody else, right?
Well, celebrities are used to feeling very important, and they're used to having a lot of attention. And so they're much more susceptible to an affair or a relationship outside of their primary relationship because of the nature of celebrity itself.
Okay.
So they're more at risk. It's kind of a setup for them to be taken in by an affair much more easily.
Right.
Doesn't excuse it. And I think we're starting to see that right now, that in light of the current situation with David Letterman, he's not going to get off easy.
He's not. And in real life, typically you don't get off too easy. It's a lot harsher.
It is a lot harsher, and I think a lot of businesses really want to keep the business rolling, keep things moving. I'm sure that that's exactly what the network wants to do. They want to keep things going smoothly, but at the same time, they don't want to ignore the situation, because what they do with David Letterman is going to set the bar.
Exactly.
Because he's not the only one, and he won't be the first or the last.
And won't be the last either.
No, not the first or the last.
All right, so there's a lot of negative effects when it comes.
Because the relationship that they play out on the screen is very romantic. It's much more romantic than what happens in real life.
Yeah.
But whether you're playing out the scene or whether you're off the set with the same star or the same co-star, you really are developing a different kind of relationship. And if your ego isn't really solid, if you're not a really stable person with a stable relationship, it's very easy to get taken in and to get carried away.
Yeah.
So you are more at risk.
Health psychologist and author of Spiritual Fitness, Dr. Nancy Mramor suffered from a back injury and knows firsthand the wealth of benefits you can get from dancing.
It improves heart health and it lowers cholesterol, which is, of course, another one of the benefits of exercise. And it actually is good for things like osteoporosis because it's weight-bearing and it puts weight on the hips and on the legs. The social contact actually creates a healthy condition in the body that makes people live longer.
Notice how good it feels to focus on the breath and calm down. Then try to slow the breath by 1 count on the inhale and 1 count on the exhale. Imagining yourself letting go of the stress or the worry each time that you exhale. Breathe the stress out each time that you let the breath out until you feel calm again. Whenever you do this, you're going to be reducing the physical stress symptoms, increasing your own longevity, and just making yourself feel more centered and able to deal with whatever stress occurs in your life. So focus, identify the stressor, slow the breathing, take some deep breaths, and exhale out the stress until you feel calm again. This is Dr. Nancy with health tips for the mind, body, and spirit.
And we're joined now to talk about this important issue by Dr. Nancy Mramor. Kajuth, she is a licensed psychologist and award-winning author.
There's no personal contact, there's no body language, there's no human touch, there's no conversation, so there's no opportunity to develop empathy for other human beings. And lack of empathy is one of the biggest problems that we're going to be having with technology, because it's just not being developed, it's not there, and it's critical for human and social development and for brain development. The more you see people get shot, the more you become desensitized to the whole idea of it. It's just, you know, it's like watching hospital or medical shows. You become desensitized to operations and surgeries. In crime shows, you become desensitized to shootings and seeing dead bodies, basically. And when you see too many crimes on television, you develop a lack of safety, a feeling of not being as safe.
So what do you expect will happen in the future? What will the next 2 generations bring as more of this comes about and more use of it comes about?
Well, I think we're already there in some sense, that we don't exist separate from our technology. Children do homework online, they watch movies, they listen to music online. It's become almost an appendage, and so I think we're already there in terms of what's going to happen, and it's only going to get worse. So we really need to look at, as you do, setting up rules and guidelines to say, okay, let's all sit around the television and talk and watch something on TV or watch a movie together, or even play a video game together, and move toward technology that is interactive, that's not isolating, and that's not this sort of all day texting. This text keeps coming, and your friends are saying, why didn't you text me back? The amount of time it takes to text back has become a measurement in relationships. He must be mad at me, he didn't return my text for 2 hours, is something that you'll hear kids say. But kids from 13 to 23 tell me, I just feel so much pressure to be online all the time, to be in connection with my friends all the time. And